Okay, so this is the Enlighten tool by Enphase Technologies, or Enphase Energy rather, and it is the way that you can view your solar panels if you have an Enphase system. It allows you to look at your microinverters, it allows you to look at your gateways. For me, I don't use this very often because, like I mentioned before, I have a blended technology setup, but it's good when you want to kind of see how each individual panel is performing. And it gives you some kind of overview of like today. It rained a little bit today, and then it was super sunny out. So I mean, it jumped around. But if I go to energy, you'll see. So today, like I mentioned, it rained a little bit, so we kind of down, nothing going on over here. But for about 6 o'clock in the morning to about 8:30 at night, it's been doing pretty good. Thing I use this for is if I go to array, I can actually look at each individual one of my panels. Tells me a little bit of information about each one, and you can zoom in and see they're color coded. The lighter blue, the darker blue, depending on how well they're producing. The other day it stormed, so we had some leaves and stuff that were all over the panels, so they were producing as well, but then the wind blew them off. But I could see that actually in here. That's kind of what I use this for. Nothing much, but it is a good way to kind of litmus test how things are doing. Okay, so we went through the Enphase Enlighten system. The other thing I really use to monitor my solar more than anything is my home assistant. So I mentioned before in my previous video and also on my website, if you're looking at the tutorial, that I have a blended system. I don't have all of the same technology from the same vendor. So I have like a Tesla Powerwall, I have a Tesla gateway, I have 2 Enphase gateways, Rec Alpha panels. I have a big mishmash of different things. If you end up going, like I mentioned before, with the same vendor for everything, this kind of becomes really easy because you have generally one app that controls everything. For the purpose of this video, like I said, I'm going through the different web versions of different things. So we went through Enlighten, which is a version. Tesla does not have a web version, it's the app only. But since I do everything Home Assistant, this is really cool. And this is generally what I see on my phone too when I look. So if you're looking, we're gonna go through this in some other videos, but generally for power consumption and utilization and production, if I go to summary, this is a really cool, what they call a card in Home Assistant. Gives me my solar production, how much my house is using, how much went to my battery, how much went to my grid, and I have a water meter that's tapped in here too. These little animations are just that, they're just animations. They don't really mean that things are moving. It's just to show you that those are the flow of the electrons, I guess we'll say. And it kind of shows you, I have my water consumption, but it kind of gives you like a highlight of the sources and your electric usage. Anything above the line is stuff that is I'm using. Anything below the line is what I'm giving back. If I click on electricity, it gives me a little more detailed view of that. So plus 21.69 kilowatt hours. That means that that's kind of how much I've sold back to the company, to DGE. If you look, it shows me my solar production, a bunch of information about next exported to the grid energy balance, how my battery's doing, all that fun stuff. It's got all my sources, and I'm a little neurotic with this, and I've been going down the rabbit hole of using smart plugs for everything, and I can monitor every little detail about what's going on in my house. So you can look at all my different devices that are on the list of things that I'm looking at. As you can see right now, my hot water heater is the number one thing right now. I think it's a 70-gallon tank, but it's electric, and it pulls electricity from the grid, from my solar panels, from the battery, whatever. It's 25 years old and needs to be replaced. But you can look, I have very little consumption. And to give you an idea, my wife works from home. She's home all day, working on her computer, using the heat, air conditioning, all that stuff. And today was kind of a mild day. It was like 80 degrees out. Where she works in the office, it doesn't face the sun, so she's not cooking in here. But you can see, right down to like her monitors, my Verizon ONT, her monitors, printer. I was sending some 3D prints today. My network address storage, Verizon router. I'm not using a ton of electricity here. This doesn't account for lights. I haven't figured out how to get those yet. But I'm trying through with Sense. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, the point of this is, how do you view solar usage? And this right here is my bread and butter. I love this tab. This is a quick and dirty way of showing what's going on. All right, well, thanks for watching. And as always, if you found this video useful in any way, and you enjoyed it for whatever reason you enjoyed it for, please consider clicking on the like button and the subscribe button and share it with your friends. Thank you.